Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Okay, so today I want to be talking about things that I actually did to prevent my schizophrenia. It's actually kind of crazy because I did do this since I was a youngin. Um, so what I want to talk about with that is just a couple things that I was looking for. I was always on watch for like what I really thought as like, okay, this is really crazy and this would freak people out, so that I knew not to do those behaviors. But the biggest thing that was also more recent and probably exacerbated my symptoms was that I would look for a 2D face in 3D objects. So, you know, when you're looking at the clouds, you're like, oh, that one looks like a tree. I was like, oh, that one looks like a face that, like, someone put there to scare me. This is a little bit awkward to talk about because it's the only thing I have not spoken with about people um, about with people. It trips me up, you know. This is just a very uncomfortable subject, not because it triggers me so much, because I do live with it every day and it is what it is, and you know, we got to deal with things on our own. But this is one of the only things that I would say probably is one of the things that other people don't deal with, and I don't know what to do about it either. It's the worst. I'm obviously on antipsychotics and it just keeps happening. So I had this delusion that inevitably brought me to this point where I would see commonalities in objects, and when I would do that, I would stop myself in my tracks and say, like, this looks like a delusion. Like, to give you an example, there was a light that blew out inside of my house, and when I would walk in, it would be the only light, so it would cast a shadow. And on that wall, I had taken something off of there, so there was a little like paint like spot that was just like ripped off, and I would think like, oh, that looks like a shark so perfectly. Like, it was just like so weird, like where I was like, I noticed that this looks like a very abnormal object that I should not be noticing. So I'm good, right? Um you know, it was off the wall, and what's sad is that I still do it, but it's just like something that your brain sets up like mechanisms that like you can't really like stop and get a control of. Yes, it is very annoying, but at the same time, at least like I'm aware of it and it's fine. It's just like what my brain does just because it's used to it. Push the button also asked me a question. First, he wanted to know if I was mad at him or he said something wrong because I had not responded yet, which totally wasn't the case. We all have bad days, but it's not even that I had bad days. It's just that I have to take some time off from this because, yes, it's good to be an advocate for it, but I have to like live my life too. He did say that he has brothers and sisters that are completely normal, and why is this torment upon him for the rest of his life? My answer to that would be that it's just life, and that's the beauty in it. It might not be the beauty that you would like to see, but believe me, son, like someone wants to see that beauty, and sometimes you're the one to tell that story. I used to actually say when I was experiencing all this schizophrenia and I didn't know that that's what it was, I would say I think that I'm taught this story. I think I was given this story. Like, I would be like, listen, fam, I know. Like, bad things don't just happen to good people over and over and over. But I would say, listen, I think that I'm given some story, not on like a monumental level, but I was like, I'm obviously given some story, this karma, just because I'm the one that's there to tell it, just like I said with like the TED Talks thing. I don't know. So at least that helps me. And I think I want to just leave it at that. Just that sometimes you're given karma because you're the one that's there to tell the story. You're the one that's the one to tell it. And that makes you special. So I love you all, and please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, keep commenting, liking, and subscribing. It keeps me going, and there'll be less of those bad days. I love you all.